Hey everyone, welcome back to Rose Tarot and Astrology. I am your host Mel Rose, and this is your astrology preview for the 35th decan of the year, December 13 through 21, 2023. There are only 36 10-day segments in the year, so this is the second to the last. We're almost into 2024, friends. The final 10 days of the Sun in Sagittarius are brought to you by the Ten of Wands in Tarot. But before we get into it, first I want to say please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Click for notifications. That way you'll know every time I post more daily astrology and tarot content. And always, as always, my friends, thank you so much for being here. The Ten of Wands is giving vibes of overwhelm. We may feel heavy with the weight of our commitments and responsibilities. You have endured much, and it's about time to lay these burdens down. Here in the last part of the Sun's journey in Sagittarius, the Ten of Wands indicates there's a culmination of challenges we have to face before the Sun moves on into Capricorn. Sagittarius is so optimistic, so we may have promised a lot, and now it's time to manage our obligations and other people's expectations. Just some things to keep in mind over the next week or so. This 10-day segment includes the waxing half moon in Pisces next Tuesday, and 2 days later, the Sun's entry into Capricorn. Now let's go ahead and take this day by day. I know I'm a couple of days late, but Friday is actually when the significant aspects start this decan, so I'm right on time for real. Today is Friday the 15th. Mars is trying to Chiron today. Our actions bring about healing. It's very easy. Mars is our sense of initiative. It is the part of us that takes action to reach goals, and Chiron is the part of us that seeks healing. And with that trine vibration, it's just so harmonious. It might be so easy, you barely notice it happening. But if you get an opportunity to embrace some healing today, please go for it. Then tomorrow is Saturday, and that's the Sun square to Neptune. Now, this can bring about a little bit of confusion, miscommunications. The Sun is really like your core identity, and it's about your sense of purpose, the work you're trying to do in the world. And Neptune, especially with a square, Neptune brings in the fog and the confusion a little bit. So things may not seem as clear as you think that they should, especially, in your work, social, and civic life. And when that challenge arises, I recommend that you ask for clarity, that you seek clarity, or if you can't seek clarity, then to sort of hang back and allow things to unfold, okay? And then the next day is Sunday, the 17th, Venus in a quincunx formation with Chiron, so it's 5 signs away. It's not quite opposite, it's just verging on opposite. So this is a time for adjustment. It's not a real conflict, but it's a place where we can make an adjustment to avoid a conflict. And this, again, this is Venus is your open, receptive, loving heart. It's your romantic self. It's the part of you that likes to invest in things. And then Chiron, again, is that part of you that seeks healing. And here, today we have this beautiful trine vibration with Mars. It's going to linger for a few days. And Chiron's really going to allow us to gain some healing from the actions that we take. But then this is about our receptivity and sort of adjusting ourselves to be more open to the healing that's available to us, that's not there for the go and get it, okay? Sometimes healing means becoming a little more vulnerable and becoming a little more receptive, and that's what we're doing. We're adjusting sort of our hearts to let in some healing. Monday, the 18th, Mercury makes a trine to Jupiter, and this is a very, very positive vibration. Mars trine Chiron, very positive vibration. Mercury trine Jupiter, that's your intellect, the way you think and plan and communicate and run around, take care of your day-to-day business in this state of grace and ease and blessing. With the planet for blessing is Jupiter. Jupiter just wants to give it all to you. Jupiter wants to hand you all of the opportunities. Jupiter doesn't just hand you the good stuff, though. It hands you the opportunity to get the good stuff. So when Jupiter, comes knocking on your door, you've got to be ready to get up and reach out you know, take advantage of the benefit it offers. So this is saying very easy right now to take advantage of the opportunities that are available, very easy to see them, to communicate about them, and to make plans for them. So again, on Monday, if you find yourself sort of invited to do something that represents a bigger, better, more idealized version of your life, you know, grab that baton and run with it. Especially if it's easy to do, okay? Because again, that trine vibration brings in ease. It's like this should not be a struggle for you, okay? If you get a bright idea or somebody gives you a great offer, take action, communicate, respond to it optimistically. And then Tuesday the 19th, we have that nice waxing half moon in Pisces. This is the halfway point between the new moon, where we begin our creative cycle, and the full moon, where we culminate some of the things that we set out to do. So this is the point where we stop thinking about it and planning it and start actually taking action to unfold what's going to happen between now and the full moon, what it is we intend to have accomplished by that time. And you know, whatever you started planning back with the new moon, it may take more than a couple of weeks, believe it or not, to manifest the plans that you started with the new moon. It may take months, it may even take years, depending on how big you were dreaming. And I hope you were dreaming really big. But you know, this is just a time when we take action to hatch some plans, to unfold some plans, to make some accomplishments in the direction of the bigger, better things that we want for ourselves. Of course, it would be great to have a major accomplishment in time for the full moon. But if what you have in time for the full moon is a bunch of small accomplishments that eventually are going to contribute to the major accomplishment, that will still be good enough to pat yourself on the back. So with this waxing half moon, we start to take action. And even if we know we can't get it all done, we know we can get some of it done. So we want to get it done in the next week or so. And then Wednesday, the 20th, Venus makes an opposition to Uranus. This is our open, receptive, loving hearts. And Uranus is this planet that just brings about sort of changes, surprises, like quick shifts in perspective. Usually it's an upgrade. Usually it brings about broader understanding. Sometimes it brings even better technology into our lives. So we don't hate Uranus for bringing about change, but it can bring up a lot of excitement and surprises. So in the opposition format there's a potential for conflict to arise. We don't want any romantic surprises on this day. That's not going to be welcome for us, okay? So let's not try to surprise our loved ones in a romantic way on this day. Let's broadcast our moves right out front, okay? Because surprises just might not be quite that welcome. And then Thursday, the 21st, is when the sun moves on into Capricorn. Okay, so that's the end of the Sagittarius transit. The sun will be in Capricorn. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. It is a very serious vibe. It's a very goal-oriented vibe. It wants to, you know, sort of make the plan and then do the work to achieve the thing, right? So this is the time of year when we really start to plan, like what we're going to do with ourselves in the coming months and year. And it's not really, you know, we're coming close to that New Year's Eve, and a lot of people think of like this is the time to make your resolutions. And I don't have a problem with making resolutions, but I would not expect to start acting on those resolutions directly after the first day of the year. I would expect to start really getting to work on those resolutions maybe late February through late March, when the spring is really beginning and we can feel the sort of sap rising in the trees and in our own lives. That's when we really get started on those resolutions. Now is a time for planning. It's a time for setting goals, and it's a time for like sort of making the lists where we know what we're going to do. We have a very solid plan in place before we make our moves. Also on Thursday the 21st, Mercury makes a sextile to Saturn. We're in Capricorn. Mercury is retrograde for both of these, so mishaps in communication and planning can arise, but it's such a very optimistic vibe. Mercury here sextile to Saturn just makes it easy to make progress on the plans that you're making. And especially with Mercury retrograde, it really just says make sure you dot your I's and cross your T's. double check your work as you go. But in Capricorn, it's still very making progress, very solid and stabilizing force in our lives. And then also that day, Mars will make a quincunx to our exciting friend Uranus. And that's just sort of like we have to adjust in our actions what it is that we're doing to something that's surprising. So something might delay us, or something might just catch us off guard. We might have a quick change in plans, that kind of thing. We just have to be willing to adjust our plan and our sort of forward motion according to what is happening that day. So that is the 10 of Wands Decan. That is Decan 35, December 13 through 22. The next Decan video will go up on Friday, December the 22nd. And that is the day that Mercury retrogrades itself back into Sagittarius. I sure want to know what happens next, and I will be right here to share it with you. So thanks for tuning in today, friends. I hope you found this video illuminating. Feel free to drop 3 fire emojis in the comments for the warmth and inspiration Sagittarius season brings to our lives. Thanks again for joining me today. And until next time, friends, keep looking up.